I lost my hand to an improvised explosive device, IED, in Iraq near Baghdad as a Bradley commander. I was reaching for a hand mic on top of the vehicle, basically the telephone part of a radio. As I reached for it, I just grabbed it and an IED exploded above and behind my head and severed my right hand at the wrist. I found welding and kind of chose it as my therapy because for me it's extremely therapeutic. You know, I've seen a quote on a Miller catalog once that once the hood's down it's just you and the metal, and that's exactly right, and that's exactly how I felt. Once I got into TIG welding, it was especially like that because it's a slow process, many of you know, for me it was just very therapeutic to be able to work and shape metal into something that normally it can't be done without welding. The hardest part for me was learning what worked best for me as an individual and what I could and couldn't use as far as prosthesis, and what worked best as far as should I hold the filler rod with the prosthesis or should I hold a torch with the prosthesis. That was kind of a slow process, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't spend a lot of time behind the hood and at a welder in a booth. I spent some days it was 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. As everybody knows, there's a prep process for TIG welding. Mine starts out a little bit differently. I have to go through the process to get my prosthesis on, which helps me hold the filler rod. First off, I'm going to go ahead and put my arm socks on here. These kind of provide a padding and a barrier between myself and the prosthesis. And then we're going to go ahead and throw on the arm here. It's a carbon fiber arm with a titanium hook here. Works out well. And there we go. It's a cable actuated body powered prosthesis. The clamp force is provided by these rubber bands here. It's open by this cable here that runs around behind my back into this harness. And when you flex your shoulders forward, it opens the prosthesis. And this allows us to hold the filler rod and make it possible for us to TIG weld. Right now we're driving a 2004 Dodge 3/4 ton diesel with a Cummins diesel in it. We chose that particular platform because it's a known power maker and it does very well. We're propelling an 8,000 pound pickup to the 10-second quarter-mile range at over 130 miles an hour, and it's extremely impressive what's capable with these pieces of equipment. And thus far we've welded my traction bars on. We've welded a few engine components here and there as far as turbo piping and engine mounts and things of that nature. We honestly believe that there wasn't a product out there that could meet our demands for quality for our truck, because in all honesty it is my life that we're depending on these welds, and if I'm going to be the one laying the weld, you're kind of, in this particular instance, you're only as good as your equipment, and I'm not going to be able to go out and buy brand A for a $200 TIG welder and expect it to be on the same playing field as the Dynasty. And the Dynasty is bar none above and beyond what we expected. It's an outstanding machine, and we have total confidence, and we quite literally trust our life to that machine.